speaker is Karina Kay, followed by Georgia Sanders.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. My name is Karina. I am a resident of Pasadena, and I'm also speaking on behalf of Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. And I want to start my comment off by saying the name Anthony McClain. He is someone who was robbed of due process. We've spoken and we've heard a lot about due process for the officers and all of the legalities around due process for the officers. But Anthony McClain wasn't given due process. He was entitled to due process, but he didn't get it. And so what we have sat here and listened to is basically what has caused us to be in this position in the first place. We have seen that your administrative process will simply align with POBAR, will simply align with the criminal investigation, and not allow for any immediate action on behalf of the city for any killer cops to be taking off of our streets. We have to endure that. We have to endure police officers, killer cops being on the street. And we can assume now that we have the information, we can assume that no action will be taken on the part of the city of Pasadena. Not from the police chief, not from the city manager, not from the council members, not from the city attorney. The police chief, the police department themselves said that we don't investigate immediately when a shooting happens. We're talking about officer involved shootings, right? We don't investigate right away, We don't investigate the night of. We might take our time. And shootings don't happen always at night either. So they happen in the daytime. The city of Pasadena needs to have urgency when police officers shoot on the job. There is no concern for human life here at all. This is why we're in this position, and we are going to remain in this position. You are policymakers, you are decision makers, and you have not implemented and discussed any new policy for urgency or for immediacy when it comes to human life being stolen. Anthony McClain's life matters. We need mandatory disciplinary action for officers. Mandatory, not let's defer to the legal processes that are already here.
1 minute left.
The city of Pasadena is a chartered city. So you as policymakers have the ability, have the discretion to implement a policy, as Council Member Tyrone Hampton said. That's why we called this meeting. And instead you defaulted to what's already here. You did nothing, and that's why we're here. A man was murdered, and it doesn't make any fucking sense that when an officer has the potential to be looked at for criminal activity, we're gonna keep them on the street. It wasn't chewing fucking bubble gum. When an officer is up for criminal activity, something severe, like taking a life, for example, something severe, let's keep them on the force. What fucking sense does that make? That doesn't make any fucking sense. We demand that those officers be fucking fired immediately. And whatever consequences come out of that afterwards will be the motherfucking consequences. You got killer cops on the motherfucking street. I don't want to be pulling up to a stop sign and see a fucking killer
Your
cop.
time has expired.
That's not public safety. This is a public safety committee meeting, and you have
Ma'am, your time has expired. If you'll wrap up your comments.
All of
Thank you.
y'all should be ashamed. Do right, or we're still in the same fucking position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Monica Watts.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Watts, we can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Monica Watts. I live on Holly Street. I want to say this is my first time in a while listening to a city council meeting, and I just am in disbelief that you all abdicated your responsibility all this time to the people you hired, the city manager and the chief of police, to handle such a matter. It's not too often that I hear things as an advocate, a national advocate, that sound exactly like what you would hear in the South or in the heart of the Midwest, where at least they would lay off people that do such things. But you all have advocated your responsibility and are in this meeting so subdued to not be able to make a comment, to be able to not even ask questions. Clearly, this needs to be a full meeting. I'm not sure why you're getting away with having Zoom meetings when you've opened up nightclubs, businesses, and everyone else to open meetings with social distancing and masking, but that's another disgrace for our city. Now, the city spent millions of dollars fighting desegregation of the public schools in this area. I've lived here for over 27 years and have fought many issues. And this looks like just one more. But I'm going to tell you right now, I will stay involved, I will pay attention, and you all need to start understanding that when you look worse in the South and the Midwest in terms of what you're doing to Black bodies, it's a disgrace. And everyone is watching, and they will be watching. And I don't understand for the life of me why the city councilman is using all this wordsmithing, the way attorneys do with words, to the point where you don't even understand what he's saying. It's disgusting. You should stop it. You know you're talking to the public. Say what you mean and do what you say.
1 minute left.
And an amendment to the charter is obviously required, amendment to the charter, and the police unions do not rule the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Watts.
That concludes public comment.
Okay, colleagues, that